Oi, lads. Okay, Kamigawa Yaya. Newest spoilers, please. Okay, dude. So, first things first. These lands suck. These lands are trash, and I don't respect them. But if you like these lands, honestly, you're just a mug. Really. Like, you're a stupid weeb that would honestly part with all of your hard-earned money. Just for what? Like, all you need to do, any company needs to do is make something look like it's slightly Japanese, and you'll just lap it up, man. Like, I have no problem with anyone being a weeb. I do actually have a problem with someone being such a weeb that they no longer have any, like, you know, they no longer tier weeb things. It's just all weeb things are good and all not weeb things are bad. You know, that there are some good weeb things and some bad good weeb things, right? But why is it that weebs just consider all weeb things to be good? It's Japanese, I press buy. Yep. Okay. Secluded Courtyard land enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, tap for colorless, or tap for a mana and cast a creature. This thing seems good. It's good, but very uncool. I've got to be honest, chat. I'm a bit of a tribal land hater. I'm a bit of a tribal land hater. I think incentivizing people to play 30 merfolk in their deck instead of incentivizing them to play 15 merfolk and 15 other cards is lame. That's my take. This card's very good. Full tribal decks are bedge. That's all I have to say on the matter. Takenuma Abandoned Mire. Legendary land, tap, add black. Legendary land, untapped, tap, add black. Okay. Channel. 3 and a black. Discard your land. Mill 3 cards. Return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. Alright, bro, this thing sucks. This thing's absolute dog. Why to hand?
How's your day going?
Seems good, 1 or 2 of. I mean, if you're playing 20 swamps, sure. I guess you can play one of these. But not many decks play 20 swamps. It's just a better swamp, isn't it? Kind of, yes, but not, as I said, man, not. Who the hell plays basic swamp? Eiganjo, Seat of the Empire. So it's another one, the white one. Channel 2 white, discard it, 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. This ability costs 1 less. Alright, this one's a lot better. This one is hell of a lot better. This will be a 1 to 2 of in Legacy, Death and Taxes for sure. Again, it's just a 1 of in every deck with more than 1 planes in it. Straight up. Every deck in all formats with more than 1 planes. Boseyu Who Endures. A green one, okay. 1 in a green this time. Discard. Destroy artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. That player may search a library for a land card with a basic land type, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle. Destroy artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. And they ramp. They get a land card with a basic land type. This one is also good. The only way you can play more than one is if you can guarantee that the ability is never dead, which you can't with any of them so far, right? Apart from the black one, honestly. But the black one is just not worth it. Now that even mono green has this busted card, can we have Splinter Twin back? What? Dude, how long has Splinter Twin been banned for? This is the card that pushed this person over the edge, huh? My opponents are going to be using Boseiju Who Endures, and I still can't play Splinter Twin? $50 to $100 land incoming. It won't get to be that expensive, right? Like, maybe the only way it can get a card's going to ever be that expensive is if a lot of decks are playing 4 copies, huh? Now, sure, a lot of decks are going to play 1 copy, but it's not going to be $100. No way. Sokenzan Origin of the Uprisers. Red one. 3 in a red this time. Discard your land. Create 2 1/1 colorless spirit creature tokens. They gain haste. Okay, so this is one you can play more than 1 copy of, huh? But again, it's similar to the black one, you just don't really want to. Like, why would you play 2? It makes no sense. Again, you would, of course, play 1, but why would you ever play 2? Ancestral Katana, 1 white artifact equipment. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, you may pay 1. When you do attach Ancestral Katana to it, +2/+1, equip 3. Whenever a samurai or warrior attacks alone, pay 1. Scuffed. Surgehacker Mech. 4 mana 5/5 vehicle, menace, crew 4. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to twice the number of vehicles you control to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Crew 4, man. I sleep. Holy shit, removal in any colour. This is going to be a huge threat in Standard and Limited. Is it? It's... Guys, yeah, I mean, it's a vehicle, true. Vehicles are cool, but you can't attack with it, dude. Crew 4, it might as well be crew 1,000,000. Mirror Box. 3 mana artifact, the legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. Each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. Each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. What? They're pushing Bard class, huh? Legendary pile. The thing is, man, like in Standard at the moment, we're like nowhere near a full Legendary deck. Like you need like another fucking 10 cards for your deck, man. But maybe. Maybe. Enthusiastic Mechanaut. 2 mana, blue-red artifact creature. Goblin Artificer. Okay, those are all very good words. Flying. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less. Okay, so, I mean, this thing is just absolutely broken. Many good words on this card. Many good words. Artifact, creature, goblin, flying, and artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's all good. Also, enthusiastic's a good word, isn't it? It's nice to be enthusiastic in life. I'm enthusiastic about you, chat. You should hear me off stream, man. When people ask me, so what's chat like? And I'm just like, here buddy, come sit down, let me tell you all about my good friend's Twitch chat. And I enthusiastically respond to that question every time. Dear God, just what Affinity needed, more mana reduction. So there's only one thing I hate about this card, chat. And it's the fire symbol. The fire symbol can just get out. That I do hate. Silver Furmaster. First comment, terrible name. Blue-black, terrible colours. Rat Ninja, terrible creature types. Ninjutsu, blue-black. Return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. Ninjutsu abilities you activate cost 1 less. Other ninjas and rogues get +1/+1. No flash, I sleep. I don't know, chat. I think this is like... this is one of those cards that sounds a hell of a lot better than it is. It could be good, but it also could be mega scuffed. It's certainly nowhere near as good as it will sound on your first read. Jukai Naturalist, green-white, enchantment creature, human monk. Enchantment spells cost 1 less. Okay. Also broken. Classic. Mana cheating is very cool. Bat chest. I mean, enchantments are definitely less cool than artifacts. I think everyone recognises that statement as fact. But enchantments are still pretty cool, I guess. Not only is this card less cool than the artifact one, it's also not quite as good, but it's still a banger, yeah. Eiganjo Uprising. X red white sorcery, create X 2/2 white tokens with vigilance, they gain menace and haste until end of turn. Each opponent creates X -1 2/2 white creature tokens with vigilance. Okay. This thing is absolutely awful. X equals 2. I get 4 mana, 2 2/2s with menace and haste. And they also get a 2/2. Satoru Umizawa. 1 blue-black. Legendary creature, human ninja. Whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and rest in the bottom of your library in any order. This ability triggers only once per turn. Each creature card in your hand has ninjutsu to blue-black. 3 mana, 2/4, legendary. Draw 0 cards. Maybe draw 1 card. I sleep. I don't know, guys. Seems pretty bad. I mean, I'm sure I will lose a game to this. I'm sure you will lose a game to this. But I'm also sure I will win 10 games against this. So I'll take the deal. Maybe there's some, like, combo you can do with this, where there's some creature that really benefits from getting in for 1 attack, like some sort of OTK or something. Then I'm interested, but just building a deck to use this to pull out some random big creature, I sleep. He is both my drug dealer and my ninjutsu trainer. I did. When did we as a society arrive at a point when people can so brazenly state that they take an illegal substance using their real name? Are we not scared of the law anymore? What happened to society, chat? How did we get to this point? Before all the only once each turn complaints start pouring in. That's you, chat. Colin's talking to you. I saw you. An ability that triggers only once each turn is really no worse than a tap ability, aside from untapping shenanigans. Plus, you don't have to worry about summoning sickness, so you can often get the benefit immediately. It's also strictly better than an ability that triggers when something happens for the first time each turn, since you won't be cucked by sequencing. Very annoying, but true. True. You got us, Colin. You got us. Shut up, Colin. Can't tell him to shut up, man. The guy's spitting facts. High quality image here. Rizona Azari Commander. 1 red-white, legendary creature. The stats are question mark. Haste. Whenever Rizona Azari Commander deals combat damage to a player, if she doesn't have an indestructible counter, put an indestructible counter on her. Whenever combat damage is dealt to you, remove an indestructible counter from Rizona. Okay, what are the stats? It looks like 2-3 to me. But obviously you can't really tell. It's definitely question mark 3. I'm shouting 2. Does it matter? What do you mean, does it matter? Does it matter how much power your haste creature has? Yeah, it fucking matters, dumbass. What do you mean, does it matter? That's a ridiculous question is that? The Kami War. 1, a white, a blue, a black, a red, and a green. This card is like wrecked, man. It's just... this image is like crushed. Someone's just pulled this out of their pocket. Like unraveled it and took a quick snap. Look at the state of that thing. Alright. It's a saga. Stage 1, exile permanent, non-land permanent opponent controls. Sure. Stage 2, return up to one other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then each opponent discards a card. Okay. Exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. You get a 6/6, it's all colours, flying trample. Whenever it attacks, the defending player chooses a non-land card in your graveyard, return that card to your hand. It gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the mana value of that card. Pay 1 white, blue, black, red, green, don't even win the game. I don't know, man. This is the type of spooky card that could make a 5-colour deck possible. That is a serious payoff, guys. Stage 1, you exile any non-land. Stage 2, you either bounce your own thing and they discard, or you bounce their thing and they discard too. And I mean, if you've got 6 lands, then your opponent's probably not got many cards by that point. I mean, you're not going to play a 5-colour deck just to play this, but if there is a 5-colour deck, this is in it. For sure. You might need some other reasons to play 5 colours. There's no way in hell you're playing a 5-colour pile and not playing this. This is trash? How is it trash, dude? It's like ECD, man. It's a lot harder to cast and it costs 1 more, but it's better than ECD. So if you're playing a 5-colour deck, this card's like one of your best cards, easily. You get like an insane amount from your 6 mana. Absolutely like ludicrous amount. Gigantha Companion. I mean, I hope they give us some other stuff to justify playing a 5-colour deck. That could be fun. However, this card is good, guys. I don't like. That does not mean that there will be a 5-colour deck. In fact, how often is there a 5-colour deck? Almost never, so there probably won't be a 5-colour deck. But if there is a 5-colour deck, this is either your best card. If it's not your best card, then your deck is absolutely broken, because it means you've got this and cards that are even better than it. Honestly, kind of a really bad card. You're a dumbass. Kaito Shizuki. 1 blue-black Planeswalker. At the beginning of your end step, if Kaito Shizuki entered the battlefield under your control, he phases out. +1, draw a card, discard a card unless you attacked. -2, make a 1/1 unblockable. -7, you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. +1, draw a card, discard unless you attacked. -2, create a 1/1. I mean, this thing is gas, no? 3 mana, make an unblockable creature, your dude phases out. You untap, you attack with your unblockable dude, you draw a card. And you have 4 mana to protect your guy. That's good, right? I mean, it depends what the rest of your fucking ninja deck looks like. Like, if there's enough... The ninja to me kinda seems terrible, though. I don't even know if you play this in a ninja deck. Like, these creatures need to have flash, bruv. And if they do have flash, then your Planeswalker's a little bit out of place in your deck, but this thing seems good to me. I wouldn't be surprised if the best deck with this card in it is not even a ninja deck. In fact, I would be surprised if it was. This is just a good Magic the Gathering card. Cast it, make a token, phase your guy out, plus your guy, attack with your token. Okay, attack with your token, then plus your guy. It can do everything it wants to do by itself, you know? You can... The fact that you can enable this +1 to only be draw a card by itself just makes the thing sick. Wow, this guy is a horse. Wrong word, mate. You're looking for the word house. It's not a horse. This guy, what a fucking horse, man. So good. Alright, hopefully the next card is also a horse. Jukai Trainee. 1G. Human Samurai. Whenever it blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Nope. What the hell is this art, man? Dokuchi Shadow Walker. We go next. The Modern Age. 2 mana, draw a card, then discard a card. Stage 2, draw a card, then discard a card. Stage 3, exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. It's a 2/3 flyer. Thing's honestly not that bad. For a common, you don't see many commons better than that. Good for a common for sure, yep. Greater Tanuki, 4 GG, enchantment creature, dog. Trample, channel 2G, discard it. Search the library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Okay, so this is Beanstalk Giant without the Beanstalk Giant. I sleep. Lethal Exploit. 1B, instant. Target creature gets -2/-2. It gets an additional -1/-1 until end of turn for each modified creature you control as you cast a spell. Equipments, auras, and counters are modifications. Gas. What do you mean gas? This thing is just like a flunk that never flunks. Good in Aura's deck. It's not good in Aura's deck, man. If you're playing an Aura's deck, you want your removal to be enchantments. This is bad even in like full Auras. You want your removal to be Auras also, right? This thing could easily cost 1, chat. And it would be fine. Because it would just be Disfigure almost always, and sometimes a little bit better than Disfigure. Mega trash. Tamiyo's Completion. 4 mana flash aura. Enchant artifact, creature, or planeswalker. When it enters the battlefield, tap permanent. If it's an equipment, unattach it. Loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. No! Wait, why is everyone upset? Have I missed the joke? It means Tamiyo is dead. Tamiyo was always dead to me. Era of Enlightenment. 1 and a white. Scry 2. Gain 2 life. Get a 2/2 first striker. Human Monk. Meh. Baseo reaches skyward. 4 mana. Search your library for 2 basic forests. Reveal them. Put them into your hand. Then shuffle. Put up to 1 target land card from your graveyard on top of your library. And then you get a Beanstalk Giant with reach. This card is the worst in the format. Okay, that is false. This card is borderline good. I will not be playing this in any of my decks because it is borderline good and not quite good, but it's not even close to being the worst card in the set. That is a redonkulous statement. Why is it 4 mana? I mean, you get quite a lot, right? 4 mana, you draw 2 lands. 3 lands if you want to draw 3. And you get a Beanstalk Giant. I'm not playing this card, but to call it the worst card in the set is pure nonsense. The Shattered States Era. Gain control of creature, untap it against haste. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Get a 3/3 trample haster. I mean, it's not a Crow in War, is it? Chat, do you remember a Crow in War? That's a real card. I miss a Crow in War greatly. This shit was absolutely broken though. Nezumi Prowler. 3/1 Rat Ninja Artifact. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. Casting this thing on curve sucks. Using the ninjutsu part of the card kinda sucks too. This card sucks. Kind of a horse. It's just terrible, man. Ninjutsu is a shit keyword. Don't at me. I need to know why I'm bouncing my own creatures. just to cast this creature for the same price that it costs. I need to know. Why the fuck would I ever do this? ETB recursion? True. True. maybe this thing's okay in an ETB deck, but again, I don't think so, right? I'm sure you can find, if you're playing an ETB deck, I'm sure you can find better ETBs than this thing. Anyway, in my opinion, shit. Covert Technician. 2 blue, artifact creature, human ninja, ninjutsu 2. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may put an artifact card with mana value less than or equal to that damage from your hand onto the battlefield. Maybe I'm just underestimating this ninjutsu thing, but dude, I can't tell you how highly I value tempo in this game, and these just seem absolutely awful. I can't believe I'm bouncing my own guy. Have you ever played against a Fading Hope? It's fucking annoying, man. So why are you casting a Fading Hope for your opponent? And they don't even have to put one of their cards in the graveyard. Ninjutsu is broken. Is it really? I don't think it is. At least you cheat mana here, but you don't cheat mana, dude. How do you cheat mana? Even if you've cast a 1-drop, you're still paid 3. Lose a 1-drop to put out a 3-drop and a 2-drop. Yeah, nice, man. Nice. Let's just build a ninjutsu deck with this in it, and of course, we're always gonna have 2 lands, 1 mana creature, this 3 mana creature. We're gonna be able to attack with our 1-drop, it's not gonna get blocked. We're also, on top of that, why don't we just have a 2 mana artifact in our hand that's relevant for our deck too? Yeah. I mean, that is the absolute top upside, and it's not even that fucking good. Every other game of Magic that you play with these cards is your deck's gonna perform even worse than that. Ninjutsu is really good, leave it to us boomers. But dude, we had Zara-san in the height of the Rogues meta, and if you played that in your Rogues deck, it was the worst card in your deck. But it's like, in theory, it's so strong though, right? Like, you get to pull a permanent from your opponent's graveyard and fucking put it into play, and it still sucked. Because bouncing your own creatures is absolutely terrible, because you need to fucking kill the opponent, dude. No need to bounce your own creatures. Trust me, your opponent will bounce them for you. Just let them do it. Why would we kill the opponent? Some people don't want to kill the opponent, and that's fine. And for them, ninjutsu is bonkers. I'm not a believer, guys. I might come across a few cards that convert me into a believer, but you're currently talking to a ninjutsu hater. 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, tap creature you don't control. Okay. Azusa's Many Journeys. You may play an additional land this turn. You gain 3 life. You get a 3/3 when it becomes blocked. Untap up to 3 lands you control. We've got a possible horse here, chat. A possible horse. This thing is a 2 mana, 3/3 mana dork, gain 3 life, and sometimes you get to untap 3 at some point too. As long as you actually have 4 lands. It's a 2 mana, 3/3 mana dork. And yet nobody played Yorn. Well, Yorn costs 1 more mana, dipshit. It's kinda different, you know? Like, add 1 mana to every card in your deck at the moment, and I think you'll find you'll stop playing most of them. Also, like, Yorn is very a specific card too, huh? There's a lot of decks that wouldn't even be able to play Yorn even if they wanted to. Because it only untaps snow lands, right? Yorn? Or there's something to do with snow in that card, I can't remember what. But as long as you can have 4 lands, as long as you have 4 lands in your hand, or at least you have 3 lands on turn 2 and you're going to top deck a land, this is a 2 mana 3/3 mana dark, which is very cool. It's a 2 mana 3/3 mana dark where if the creature gets removed you've still got the mana. I don't know, man, this thing is seems very good. Sometimes you don't have the land, that's always the problem with these kind of cards. How often do you not have the land? Quite often. As long as you have 3 lands in your opening hand. Well, it's not only that, right? You need to have at least 3 lands in your opening hand, and then if it is only 3 lands, you then need to top deck another one, right? As long as you somehow have 4 lands on turn 3, this thing's kind of a banger. Why? Well, if you don't have the 4th land, then ramping to the 3rd land is irrelevant, right? Because you would have been able to just put that in play the following turn anyway. You still got the same amount of mana on the next turn. I think this little number here is sneakily good. Do not underestimate 3 playing a game of Magic with 3 additional life either. How many times has your opponent attacked you to -1 life? -2 life. And you've been dead? Well, in this game you're not dead, chat. Simian Sling. Red artifact creature, equipment monkey. Okay, I like it already. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a Simian Slinger equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to defending player. Reconfigure 2. Attach to target creature you control or unattach from a creature, reconfigure only as a sorcery, while attached it isn't a creature. So it's an equipment that starts as a creature. I mean, this particular card is bad, but this type of card seems like it could be... Is it what will finally make equipment decks good? These type of cards. I mean, this is what it needs to be, right? Mechanic is strong. I think this card seems a little too weak though, but we'll see. Dude, you know me, I'm always down to try equipment tribal. Especially when my equipment are also my creatures. That makes it a hell of a lot easier. I think this is great design, however for new players it requires them to know what A, an equipment is, and B, how to equip. Dude, oh my god, comments like this piss me off so much. Why is it that everyone that makes comments like this, why they make it out as if Magic is such a impossible game to learn? But oh, don't worry man, I am intelligent enough to understand this game, but all these puny, like, pathetic new players, they'll never understand how to play Magic. Only I can understand the rules. Fucking hell man, that annoys me. Oh my god. These new people coming to the game, they're so stupid, dude. You have to make every rule in every card so that new players can understand them. Because they're so dumb that they'll never be able to understand this. Toxic streamer berating Josh. I'm not berating Josh. Josh is one of many targets for my current statements. I'm not berating Josh. I'm berating Josh and his homies. Josh and his arrogant homies. It's true, man. I'm gatekeeping elitism. It's really annoying, man. Life of Toshiro Umezawa. 2 mana. Choose one. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. You gain 2 life. Do it again. And then you get a 2/3 enchantment creature, human, samurai. Tap, pay 1 life, add black, spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. Really, this one's bad. I mean, its existence is going to make 1 toughness creatures a little awkward, but it's not that good. This card could kill creatures for 2 mana. Yeah man, it could. I could also win the lottery, but I'm probably not going to, so. 1 in a million hypothetical situations are a waste of human existence. Josh disagrees. I'm not going to comment on Josh's comments ever again, unless it's an alternative Josh! I love that the flip side is the 4th ability Jiti originally had during R&D. New Josh. I think this one is bad. You're not getting like, of course, if your opponent has 2 1 toughness creatures, this card's very good. But most of the time that's just simply not the case. Behold the Unspeakable. Creatures you don't... 5 mana one. Oofed. Creatures you don't control get -2/-0 until your next turn. Trash. If you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, draw 4 cards. Otherwise, scry 2, then draw 2 cards. This activates after draw step. So you had to have 0 cards in your hand at the end of the turn that you... This has to be the last card in your hand to draw 4. Okay, this one is completely trash. No doubt about that one. Spirited Companion, 1 and a white enchantment creature dog. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Oh my god. It's everyone's favourite Magic card, chat. 2 mana creature, draw a card. Everybody's favourite Magic card, but guys, think of the Soul Herder combo, you know? This plus Yorion, Pog you. This plus Ephemerate. I'm going off. I'm popping off. This plus Thassa. I'm popping. Horse. I mean, the card is actually a horse because it's an enchantment creature. It is actually a horse of a card. This will see play. This will see many plays. I mean, this will see as much play as Enchantment Tribal as a deck, which it's shaping up like it might be. How many horses do we have so far? Okay, all the lands are all horses, but they don't really count. Mirror Box, potential horse. Artifact and enchantments cost less, horse. This Planeswalker's a horse. Some of the sagas are okay. Not many horses so far, to be honest. Ecuador! Ecuador!